your third foul in the first half, and you see you go off the court under the tunnel, close the doors behind you. What goes through your mind? And you know you got to come back out there, but what did you need to do to come out there and go nuts like you did in that second half?
I just wanted to get into a better mental space. Disappointed I put myself and my team in that position to get 3 fouls and be limited in how much Dean could play me. So I just needed 10, 15 seconds to gather my mind and then come back out and be a positive influence for the guys and not be a deterrent or whatever you call it. But I thought it probably affected us in the second quarter a little bit. So I can't do that.
Dean, what did you make of the performance from everyone?
Yeah, great start. I thought it was important after that break about who kind of comes out the best in the first quarter, and we played the type of defence that holding them to 17 and pretty impressive, and then see that kind of turn around in that second, and the foul count kind of flipped and we were in the bonus pretty early, and it was something that we were conscious of about how good a job we'd done over the 3 previous games about kind of limiting them to get to the foul line and limiting their offensive rebounding, and both those areas kind of really shone through in the second quarter. CG, we don't start him after the half, and you kind of hope that he didn't pick up the fourth pretty quickly, but he picks up that fourth, and I'm still kind of like, oh, there's 5 minutes to go, and we throw him back in there. But he did a hell of a job. They screened for him well. Him and IC were both elite tonight at scoring the basketball. But it was a pretty special performance to watch tonight.
And there were times when in the second half, when Chris was pretty much on an island shooting by himself. How does the team manage to get him so free in those instances in a game one of a semi-final series?
Yeah, I thought everybody worked hard, to read the coverage. He worked hard initially to get himself open off-ball screening, and then put himself in situations where, he's setting back screens or he's setting on-ball screens and moving out of it, and I thought he just confused their coverage a little bit to get himself open. So, high IQ from him and high IQ from the people delivering the basketball for him.
And conversely, the defensive end to restrict Bryce to 12 shots, I think it was. That's a hell of a team effort.
Yeah, he still does it at a highly efficient rate and goes 4 or 5 from 3 and 8 of 12 for the game. And but we don't give him the cheap ones. We don't let him get to the foul line. We do a good job as a team in just, crowding the area, and he did a good job of, passing the ball to Pinder and allowing him to make plays, and you got to live with some things. And tonight we were living with trying to protect the rim against Pinder coming downhill, but he was pretty good as well.
Coach, Ian Clark seems to be a barometer that just is there when you need him, and a little stretch in the second quarter was very valuable. Can you just speak to his game tonight, please?
Yeah, I thought he really appreciated the club allowing him to go back, to Belmont and where they retired his jersey in that break, and it was such a little refreshing moment to say, yep, we could have held him back and got him ready, but it was like, no, that's such a milestone thing in your life to go back and get that. And he come back, he was really appreciative of how we dealt with that, and there was just a real spark about seeing his family and coming back. And his couple of practices straight off the plane were magnificent. It was like, oh, we've got Ian Clark in the best headspace that we've had him for for a period, and he kind of knew this performance was possibly on the cards tonight. So congratulations to him though.
And Jack's injury, is he good? He did seem a bit like they were attacking him a lot laterally at the defensive end.
Yeah, I thought. I think he'll be better in the second game. I thought, he has 13 and 10 and stuff, and I think we all, like, we haven't played for 19 days, but he hasn't played for 30 days. You know, he's still catching up a little bit, and so I think he's going to be a lot better for that performance. But yeah, come up with some key rebounds when we need him, and even when we were down, the three that he hit at the top, you know, he made some big plays for us.
Chris, how inspirational was that act from Shea to cop the knee to the ribs and get back up, you know, to the applause of the crowd? And also, Dean, has he got any injuries from that act?
No, he's fine.
Yeah, he put out that fire. He puts out a lot of fires for us, and you know, that's what we ask of him, to go and lead us and do those inspirational things, and he does it night in, night out. So I felt at times we probably could have supported him better on with the job he was doing with Bryce, but yeah, glad he's okay, and glad he's on our team.
Chris, like, nobody in here, let me just double check, nobody in here can shoot. Give us take us into the mindset, man. Like, I know you're going to try to give some humble answer, but you make your fourth, you make your fifth. Do you just know now, like, I'm sitting over there going, it's going up. Yeah, are you just, and I know you're hunting, what's it like, man? What's going through your head when you're just like, man, if I just let the ball go, it's by definition a good shot?
I don't know about that. Yeah, the one at the start of the fourth was probably by definition a bad shot. But it's a balancing act, you know. Dino spoke about guys working and freeing me up, and then the work that I do to try and get a little bit of space. But yeah, once you see it go in a couple of times, you use the word hunt, and that's exactly it. You want to hunt good shots and then read off what the defense does from that. We tried to set up a couple things to, you know, potentially get the screener open, which they did a good job of shutting down. And yeah, we went deep into the playbook a little bit with some different stuff. But yeah, just the desire to hunt and keep getting looks.
You actually had a series, which I think a lot of players in their local comp would probably relate to, because I think there's one in front of the bench where you kind of tippy-toed, you kind of forced the three a little bit. Then you also had that play when you got your third foul when you ran through the screen, and you're very frustrated. I guess, what were you thinking to yourself in that moment? I know David touched on it earlier, but how do you just reset yourself there after a couple of those series of where things aren't going quite how you would like?
Yeah, it probably took too long to reset myself, but you know, halftime came, I had fouls, and really confident in the ability of other guys to step up. I wasn't worried like, oh, I'm not going to be out there. I need. We have so much confidence in the guys that come in and play off the bench, and confidence in the guys that don't get a lot of minutes. So. That calms me for sure. Seeing IC go out there and get buckets is one of the best things for my headspace. I love watching him play the way he did tonight. So just needed to reset and get myself in a better headspace a little bit quicker.
Dean, what's the closeout mindset like now? Now you go to Perth. You don't want to have to come back here. So what's outside of a few tweaks to X's and O's, what's the mind shift? Are we, you know, going there to just get this over with?
Yeah, you know, we go over there confident in the way that we've played over there recently. There's always adjustments to the things. So what do they do to CG? How do they stop him, you know, getting 17 great three-point looks? What are the things that they can counter with that right now? Yeah, how we guarded Bryce, what's their counters? How do they find him more shots? So I guess they're all the things that we think about right now. Do they play different personnel? You know, Munza didn't play much tonight, but he's been, you know, pretty effective for them all years. So there's some different things that we get ready for. But, yeah, I think our commitment to defence, you know, hold them to 93 is, you know, if we can get, we still feel like there's some possessions that we can do a lot better in. So we'll lock into the defensive part of it. And, yeah, it's not like we don't want to come back here. It's like we just focus on the next game. If we have to come back here, we'll be happy to play here again. But, yeah, we just go over there with a solid confidence about the way that we've attacked them.
You've won 10 of your last 11 over there. Does that give you confidence?
Yeah, for sure. You know, you keep. We've been locked in. You know, I think these Perth games have come, through the year was like, man, we really need a good win, and we've been super locked in. We played with different personnel as they have in the series. I think might have been the first game that they had all their imports in and different things. So, the Red Army will get behind them, and we expect it to be another great contest.
Chris, can I just ask, when you said that you kind of went off to reset, is that something that you've done in other games, or is that kind of something a bit different?
No, I don't know. It just sort of happened in the spur of the moment.
Dean, Perth sort of chased their tail at the back end of that second quarter to get up one at the half. How do you get that lead back in the third, and then I guess be able to close the game out in the clutches in that fourth quarter?
Yeah, I think at the halftime we really talked about the disciplines that we needed to have, and we talked about the O boards, and we talked about giving them 8 free throws in the last 5 minutes of that, and so how much better we can be in some of those areas. CG was, broke the game open in the third. Let's not sugarcoat it in any way. It's like, his offense gave us a 10, 12-point lead, or what it was somewhere through that third quarter, and, we were solid enough to be able to close it out. So, there's going to be runs. I think they went on a 9-0 run there at one point as well to get themselves back in the game, and that's who they've been all year. When they've been able to put together really good offensive stretches and runs, and we did a pretty good job of not letting them get on a big one tonight.
Production off the bench has been pretty phenomenal all season. What's the key to consistency, I guess, in both units when they take the floor?
Yeah, we kind of went from the playoff series last year against Tassie. It's like, we need to be able to play Tanner and Flynn and Kyle Bowen more, and I thought all their contributions tonight were really solid when they came into the game, and so, we expect that to, continue. Marcus Lee, I thought, was, really good tonight, and, the way he rebounded, obviously he's a lob threat, how that, makes it hard for him to, tag or get to shooters when he's coming down the lane, about the gravity that he has about a lob threat as well. So good contributions off the bench.
Chris, can you take us inside the process of, I guess, how you guys guard Bryce as a team to not allow him to get the looks that he wants, get to the bucket?
We just got to just try and make his shots as hard as possible, man.
Is it stay on his hip or anything like that?
I don't guard him.
You're an inside spy for the Wildcats.
Yeah, we just got to try and make his shots as difficult as possible.
My last one, Chris, congrats on tying the record for the NBL finals as well with 10 threes. Was there a thought in your mind, the game was over, there was a bit more time, did you really want to just get a couple more shots off and go to take the record 1 out?
No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
You didn't know at all? No one pushed that through?
No.
I just told him at the end. Dean, I want to ask, there was a lot of chat about Bryce Cotton, Keanu and Doolittle bobbed up for 20 points each, but Dylan Windler, you kept him to 4 points. Was that a conversation before going into the game too?
Yeah, certainly, when we focus on Bryce so much, it's about, what opportunities is going to be allowed for these other guys, and, he's just he's a tough cover, and he's such a good mid-range shooter, and it's like, how long do you live with that? We've got to take the ones at the rim away from him. Pinder didn't shoot the 3-ball as well tonight, but there was some opportunities for him. Windler, I just thought, maybe he wasn't unbelievably aggressive or whatever, but, I thought we guarded him well out of the corners. He gets the one back cut that was the only one that he kind of gets in that one. So, he's a really good player, and we give him a lot of attention, certainly in this next game as well.
Chris, just for the kids.
Last one, please.
They're going to go out and want to shoot 17 threes tomorrow night when they're playing in their domestic team. What were you listening to in the car on the way to the game, just so they can maybe try and replicate the Chris Goulding preparation?
That's got nothing to do with it, man. I'm very old and I've been doing it a long time, so it's a lot of shots in practice. That's the key.